welcome to Liz Rocks and Stuff. I'm Liz. This is episode 122 of What's in My Tumbler, and we're going to start off with Opal Quartz. I also want to point out that the deer videos this week were taken while I was recording these videos. So, fun fact, my dog is not very smart. I'll talk and tell a story in between all this. I actually have stuff to talk about this week. So first thing we're going to do is rinse off all of this stuff. This is currently in stage 3, and I am going to put it into stage 3.5. I decided that the opal could benefit a lot from a stage 3.5. That little bit was very suspicious to me. I feel like this opal is crumbling again, so I was very careful when I was going through this to make sure that things were not breaking or sharp. I didn't find a culprit for that, but I did kind of take out some of the smaller crumbly bits. Anyway, so the deer. The deer are very used to me, and they've gotten used to my dog. They typically don't just run away automatically when I walk outside anymore, which is fine. But deer are also very dangerous if you aren't aware, especially when they have their fawns and during rutting season. So they still have their fawns with them, and we are heading into rutting season very soon. So I'm very wary of them when I'm outside. So as I was recording this, first of all, I'm recording and I heard something behind me, and there was a deer literally within 10 feet of me behind me. So that's a little bit scary. But then what I recorded was a group of deer. They had run off initially when I came outside, but they obviously didn't go far. And they came out and they were challenging my dog. Now, Yuna is a very trainable dog, but she's not very smart. She's actually pretty dumb. And so she's off chasing chipmunks and squirrels and does not at all notice that this deer is staring her down and stomping at her. So I called her over to me to save her own butt, and then recorded the video that you see in between with the deer. They were on the other side of the yard for me. I wasn't in any danger, but I was definitely keeping an eye on them because they stuck around for a while, and the whole herd was actually back in the woods. So that can be a very dangerous situation. But yeah, so that was fun. Anyway, so the opal and opal and the quartz are going into stage 3.5. Stage 3.5 was in stage 3. Now we have Softy Bunch, which is done this week. And I'll let you be the determine what you think of how these turned out. It's called Softy Bunch because these are both very soft rocks. I want to say they are in the 3 to 4 range. So we are going to first rinse them off. I'm not going to bother inspecting these because if anything is chipped or broken or causing problems, there's nothing I could do about it at this point anyway. So I'm just going to pour it all back into the barrel, and then we are going to do a burnishing cycle with a tablespoon of borax and then let them tumble for just a few hours. I could probably burnish things a little longer than I do, but I don't. Mostly because I have a filming schedule to keep. If I'm going to get videos out at the same time every week, I need to have the filming done by a certain time. So these are just going in for a quick burnish, and then once they are done, we're going to take them out, give them another rinse, and then dry them off and see how they look. Oh, I also wanted to bring up and ask for some advice. My husband sells things at vendor fairs a couple of times a year, and I asked him if he would be willing to sell some of my rocks. So I was going to package them up, bigger rocks by themselves, smaller rocks maybe have multiples together. And I'm trying to figure out how much to sell them for, because I was planning on selling them for just like $1 a piece or something. But he was thinking I should do like $5, which I think is insane. I want to kind of price everything the same to make it easier on him, because I won't be there to help with that one is this much and this one is that much. They should all be the same. So I was thinking one, maybe $2, 3 for $5 or something like that. What would you pay for a polished rock like that at a vendor fair? Is kind of what I'm wondering. I feel like $1 is fair, but maybe I'm just underselling it. But anyway, back to this. The chrysocolla is on the right. The lepidolite is on the left. And then we are going to see what they look like all dried off. Chrysocolla, no notes, amazing. It's softer, so it's not going to have a super high gloss shine, but I feel like that's pretty impressive shine for how soft these rocks are. I'm not upset at that at all. Now, the lepidolite, reminder, has some crystals in it, and the crystals make it look like this is bruised, but it's really not. There is a lot of shine on these pieces. It just looks bruised because of kind of the glitteriness and the way the rock is. In the pictures, it looks bruised. It really isn't. And I am absolutely over the moon happy with how these all turned out. I guess, I don't know. I have a lot of good luck with soft rocks in the tumbler that people don't think you should be able to do. But, yeah, see that video, that picture, they look bruised and crazy, but they're really looking great. All right, moving on to Shattered Dreams. This is the mix of obsidian that I am retumbling. This is going into final polish from stage 3.5. So next week I will be starting probably some more obsidian. I have, I think, 2 pounds, 2 giant chunks of obsidian. I'm going to break them up that I have to start tumbling. So I'm going to do that. One is Snowflake, and I don't remember what the other one is. But I am looking forward to that. So first, I am going to make sure that nothing is chipped or broken. I'm not terribly worried about this stuff. It's pretty well behaved in general, not like the opal that is misbehaving like crazy. So we're just going to, I just inspect the bigger pieces, make sure they're not having any issues, and then we're just going to get everything put back in the barrel. And then water and a soap cycle for this obsidian, so a tablespoon of ivory soap, and then these are going to tumble for, I don't know, a few hours. I guess I don't have much more to talk about other than my dog is dumb about deer. She's half boxer, quarter border collie, quarter Australian shepherd. So like 1,000% energy, and she's only 9 months old, so she's like got puppy everything, and just absolutely will run headfirst into a wall. But you can show her a trick 2-3 times and she's got it. She's super trainable, but really dumb. So it's kind of funny and interesting, and she's a blast. But yeah, not smart about the deer, and that concerns me a little bit, because the deer come really far into our yard. They come up to our house, so that's not going to be fun someday, I'm sure. But at least she doesn't seem to chase the deer. She chases the squirrels and the chipmunks, but not the deer, so at least we're lucky there. Anyway, so this is a tablespoon of borax, a tablespoon of stage 4 grit on the obsidian, and it is going to be done next week. And then we have the Iolite. This was in stage 1. It's going into stage 2. Maybe not everything is 100% ready for that, but it's all close enough that I feel comfortable moving it along. I don't have enough. I don't want to hold this up because 1 or 2 pieces aren't perfectly 100% smooth. Maybe one day I will pick a rock and say I'm going to tumble this until it is 100% smooth and see if I have the patience for that. But as of right now, I do not have the patience for that. So we're just doing an inspection. Again, don't want anything that's chipped or broken, going to cause issues and scratch things up. This is all, I'm surprised at how quickly this is shaping up, given that I think it's like a 7 hardness. So it's shaping up really quickly. Unlike quartz, that takes forever to shape up. So we're going to do a quick soap cycle on this and then send this off. I am going to also add some media because it is not filling up this barrel. I might add more media after the stage 2 because again, I don't want this stuff to get bruised if it's not full enough in the barrel. And so we are going to have to see if I'll need to add more media next week. But I do expect it to shrink some more in stage 2. It's just what it does. So this is me adding in a little bit of media, not a whole lot. And then we are going to do a tablespoon of borax and 3 tablespoons of stage 2. I almost did 1 because I've been doing so many soft batches that it's kind of in my head just doing 1, but I had to remind myself that harder rocks need more grit. So that is going off into stage 2, and look forward to seeing how that's going to end up when it's done. And so now I have a new barrel to start. I'm going to have a new barrel every week for the next 3 weeks. So what did I decide to do here? Howlite. I figured I just finished some soft stuff. Let's tumble some more soft stuff. So this is 3.5. I did see that it's technically between 3.5 and 6 or something, which is a huge range in hardness, but we'll see how this turns out. So I'm going to start it off with just a tablespoon of borax and a tablespoon of stage 1 grit, and we're going to see how this goes. If it seems like it's a little bit harder and not and needing a little bit more grit to shape, we can start treating it like it's a harder rock, but for now I'm treating it like it's a soft rock. And I'm hoping that I can get this stuff good. I've heard it can cause some trouble and some people have issues with it, but we will see. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back next week. Like and subscribe, and do all the things.